Nasty, put some clothes on, I told ya. This is not aged well. Don't walk out the house without your clothes on, I told ya. I used to love that song. Do you know? Am I aging myself? Really though, like that was like 20. No, it was more than 20 years ago. It was. I believe that was Destiny's Child's last album. Was it? Something like that. And yes, it was at least 22 years ago. I was in the US when that album came out, and I love the whole album. I love that song in particular too. And I have no regrets, but yeah, maybe that's not the kind of stuff I would endorse um, today. Well, even back then, I was not. Let me quit lying. I liked it, and I was not super critical. I did not just like the rhythm. I didn't just like the sound and the vocals. I like the whole thing. So let me not lie. Hmm. I'm better though, and apparently so is Beyonce, and so all the members of Destiny's Child as a whole. I don't know about Michelle though. I'm not sure. I'm not saying she is still back there, but I'm just saying I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, hello everybody. Hello, bonjour. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Um, yeah, doing pretty good today. And by pretty good, what I honestly mean is I don't feel depressed. Cause I don't know, past few days, these past few days have not been super easy. I got a lot done before that, and it's like this emptiness. Um, yeah, that's very unpleasant. And it's not a real emptiness because I know that there's a lot more on my list, a lot more to do. But it's just that there were a couple of things that required a lot of attention all at the same time. Everything was urgent, um, and everything needed the best of me. So yeah, that's where the because the delivery part is done. That's where the emptiness, the feeling of emptiness comes from. But there's still a lot to do, including recording this episode of the FTN podcast. Right, right. So welcome, welcome. Let me give you some updates. Where do I want to take you today? I don't think I'm gonna make this very long. I know I keep saying that and I keep lying. Well, last time I did not lie. It was really short. But today, well, in about a week, I have a birthday. Hey, I have a birthday. Yeah, I have a birthday. Actually, my birthday last year is what really prompted the creation of this podcast. So, yeah, yay me. And you know what? I think hmm, I really don't know what I want to do for my birthday. Last year was a big number, a big round number. So this year is just the same round number plus one. So, um it's not super special, but I don't know, it's sort of bothering me. Let me okay, let me tell you the thing, and then maybe somebody with the same perspective can chime in, or someone with a completely different perspective can let me know what they feel, how they feel about that. So I was born in 1982, December 1982. So really, the but anyway, so December 1982. So when 2022 came around, January 2022, I mean, I had just turned 39, like barely a month before that, like 3 weeks before. Um, but, because people, people people consider the actual date, but, well, for legal reasons, it's the actual date. But a lot of the times, I mean, it's people just look at the year, right? So in 2022, I was already like, you know what? I'm turning 40 this year. So in my mind, I was already 40. So 2022, the whole year, I'm 39, but I'm like, yeah, this is the year I'm 40. And then I turned 40 in December. And then 2023, I'm 40, right? So it's like 2 years of being 40, like a year of getting ready and actually getting in there, and then a year of actually being 40 until, well, next week. And I did achieve a few things personally. Yeah, on a personal level, on a spiritual level, on multiple levels, really. And but I don't really feel I don't feel like I am where I would want to be. So it is a little weird to get to 41. I don't know how to explain that because I was not freaking out turning 40, but I am sort of freaking out leaving 40 and like getting further, like deeper into my 40s now. You know what I mean? It's for many reasons, like, well, of course, they're getting old, which is not in itself something I'm afraid of, but everything that comes with, being old in terms of health, in terms of physical ability. I mean, I realize that I am not as flexible. I really need to stop working out. I mean, I cannot be lazy and expect to be exactly the same, right? Um, so there's that. There's also, like I was saying earlier, like where I am exactly right now in my life. Like, is it where I want to be? Is it, I don't know. Um, well, not I don't know. I know. And I know that it's not where I want to be. I have to be honest. So, yeah. And how much time do I have to get to where I want to be? And is it even possible to get to where I want to be? For multiple reasons, not only because of not who I am, but what I am. Because I know there are limitations um, to life based on, well, based on your birth. I mean, it's just observable reality. And that's not me saying that um, your birth determines absolutely everything and nothing that you can do afterwards, you know, can change that everything else is meaningless. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it determines quite a lot. Quite a lot. Like, I realize every day, like stuff I was not believing in my, even in my early 30s. I'm like, oh no. When I was listening to these people saying that revolution this, revolution that, they were not crazy. When I was listening to the people saying, hey, you know what? But um, capitalism and racism and white supremacy, like all that shit, all of that stuff is connected. I'm like, okay, I don't really see why it sounds like a reach, but okay, whatever. And to them, like, oh my god, it is all the same system. Those are like different branches of the same system. They work together. And I really don't want this to sound negative or like I'm feeling personally defeated or something because here's the thing. The actual challenge is to see, hey, okay, so understanding how these systems work, like which part of those systems can I use to my advantage based on some of the privileges that I have. And what I go back to is like, okay, it feels like you need to be a genius, which I don't believe I am, or like you need to be extra ruthless, which I know I'm not. Um, like in order to make it in a substantial way, or you need to have a lot more privileges. So I don't know, like if at this age of turning 41 in a few days, if I should be like, okay, this is what I accept, and this is what I make peace with, and this is what I want to continue fighting for, or this is what I want, like this is what I still want to try to reach. Yeah, I don't, and again, I really don't want to make it sound depressing, because that's not where I am with this. It's more like about, okay, here is what I know about myself, like in terms, like when it comes to business, for example. I know that I am not a salesy person. Um, it takes a lot of effort to do a little bit of selling, and I know that like I over here I joke, right? I can be like, okay, well, $2, blah blah blah, because it's $2, and because I make it a fun thing for me anyway. But actually selling stuff to people, I don't know how to do that. I don't like doing that. I feel really uncomfortable. I'm also super introverted. I don't know, maybe listening to this, you may not believe it, but it really is true. Um, so it's more like, okay, because I know myself, because I know my limits, what do I do? What are the limits that I do feel like it's okay to push? And what are the limits that really should be my boundaries so I can keep a positive image of myself, so I can be at peace with myself. So it's really all of that going on. And I know maybe it's because I'm not really being like super specific about the type of things I'm thinking about. Maybe it may sound a little more abstract than it should be, but I hope y'all can understand what I'm talking about. And I've made this intro like super long. Now I should really stop and actually like get into the topic. I know it's not going to be long, but yeah. Let me. But you know what? Let me tell you something first. Okay, so baby, like I said, I was not good at selling, but I can be good at begging. No, but seriously, like next week, my birthday, y'all. Oh, I don't know. Weird. But anyway, you just heard what I had to say. So now we're talking about money. talking about money, money, ching ching. Do you have a coin or two? Well, if you do, come and join me and share it with me if you don't mind. I mean, come on now. Um, I'm not I'm not gonna pressure you, but I do have a Patreon, and you can join me on Patreon by going to ftnpod.com. And there'll be the Patreon button or the donate button at the top. You can join me. If you join me on Patreon, it starts at $2 a month. Just $2, baby. And if you want to share more coin, um, you know, not more coin necessarily, but if you just want to do like a one-time donation, then you still go to ftnpod.com and there's the donate button and you can do whatever amount you want. I'll take everything. But you can also do the free thing. I insist on the free thing, y'all. And that's by sharing this episode or the podcast and leaving some comments. Doing all the things the algorithms like. Just to say, hey, Spotify, this woman here has an interesting podcast. I like to hear her voice. She soothes my soul. Whatever you like. Um, but yeah, share, comment, and of course subscribe, baby. And again, yeah, if you have an extra coin, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm not too proud. And you know what? I think I'll do like a birthday registry thing. Check out the notes for this episode. It'll all be there. Um, yeah, cause I'll, hmm, I'll talk to y'all at the end of this episode. But yeah, I'll probably do that. Let's go back to the episode. Okay, so today what I wanted to talk about is what I actually wanted to talk about, aside from the personal, slightly philosophical stuff, is transitioning, but while leaving people behind after transition. And this was inspired by a few things. Lately, oh God, I have found a new addiction. Reddit, the some of the threads. Am I the a-hole? Is a oh God. This is like the audacity on some people. It's horrific. But anyway, um, so I've been not on Reddit because I don't want to be on there reading stuff and falling into the rabbit hole or whatever. So I've spent more time like listening to YouTube videos of people like reading this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. But anyway, one of those stories was of a person, a cis man, who was married to a a person who was a cis female at birth, and who ended up transitioning into a trans man. And this cis man was supportive. He is, I believe he's pansexual. So I mean, he was just in love with his partner, and yeah, so he came into some money, and his partner wanted bottom surgery, and he said, you know what, I want you to be happy. Here's this money, and do your bottom surgery if it's important for you. It's important to you. So, okay, cool. And then after that, the partner was like, you know what, I need to live my gay um, my gay life as a trans man. I need to sell my bald oats, and yeah, I can't be doing that while I'm being married to you. So deuces, I'm out. And that person was like, oh my god, like I regret paying for my husband's um, bottom surgery. I regret actually like helping him transition. And yeah, I mean, I could, I can absolutely understand that feeling of regret. I can also understand the trans man, the partner, um, who who's feeling like, hey, I need to be myself and discover fully myself. It's just too bad that he felt he needed to actually leave his husband to do that. But hey, I don't know. But really, what that how that's actually interesting in the conversation today is how some of us after transition we don't really want to see the people who were around us when we did transition. Hmm. Can we talk about that? Can we be a little honest about it? So maybe this episode should be dedicated to the partners of trans people, trans men, trans women, trans non-binary folk. Um, I think, and it's not my situation personally, but I feel like a lot of us don't want to see ourselves through the eyes of someone who desired us before we were fully ourselves, right? And I'll say that again. Like, we don't necessarily want to see ourselves through the eyes of someone who desired us before we were fully ourselves. Because, like, imagine, like, you are feeling at your ugliest. You are feeling like you are someone, you're pretending to be someone you're not. You are at your least comfortable. And there's this person who is in love with you, right? Who loves you the way you are. And then you change. There's this new light in you. There's this honesty also about who you are. And then this person is like, oh, that is wonderful. They're still supportive, right? They want to be there for you. They want to be there with you. But you're like, okay, but you liked a more masculine version of me. Are you really seeing me as the person that I am? Are you really attracted to this body that is, slightly different? Um, are you are you honestly with me as me, or are you still like in love with that person who's a more masculine um, version of me? Are you like basically you kind of triggering my dysphoria right now? I think that's the general idea. Like, okay, are you really seeing me as a woman when you're touching me? Or for the example, in the example of the trans man, like when we are being intimate, like, are you seeing me as a woman when I am now fully and openly this man, this gay man? Like, do I have to think about how you feel about me? I think that's something that may be in trans people's minds, like in the back of trans people's minds when they stay in relationships with people who were with them before. I don't know. I don't know. It must be difficult. Like when you make a mistake and you don't really feel comfortable with the people who saw you make the mistake. That feeling? Um, Imagine that in your bedroom. Imagine that in your at your dinner table, at breakfast. Imagine that in your living room as you cuddle up with your loved one, and it's like it's like a mirror, um, but the image hasn't changed. They're sending back this image that is old, and how do you deal with that? I don't know. It must be hard. It must be super hard. On one hand, I want to say that it needs to be respected. It needs to be acknowledged and respected, right? If I am not feeling fully myself when I'm with you, then maybe I should not be with you, right? Um, yeah, that's non-negotiable. But at the same time, we don't want people to feel like they've been taken advantage of, right? Like, okay, I've helped you through your transition. I've paid for some of your surgery or whatever your treatments, or I mean, I've been a financial support, a moral support, in some capacity, and now that you've reached what you wanted, um, the point you wanted to reach, then suddenly I'm no longer desirable. Suddenly I am to be discarded because I make you feel uncomfortable. Um, and so I want to tell people like, hey, you it's not that suddenly you became undesirable. It's not that it was a plan all along, like you were being used, and then it's not that. It's like, okay, oh wow, let's climb this mountain together. And now that we're at the top of the mountain, after we have sweated and after I've pissed myself because I don't know, we there was a mountain lion on the way. After like all the ugly stuff have happened and you've seen the ugly stuff and I've seen your ugly as well. And we are on that mountaintop after we've helped each other get there. Um, and I'm like, okay, but this situation is no longer desirable. This situation is no longer what I want. I was not fully seeing it because I was so busy climbing, or I was so busy running away from the mountain lion when we were at the plateau, right? I mean, I'm trying to, do analogies here, but, and I hope it's making sense, but it's not okay. Like, there's this sinister plan. There was this sinister plan all along. It's not that at all. It's just, hey, now that I'm there and I can rest a little bit and I can assess the situation around me, I'm discovering this new reality where I no longer um, feel comfortable and I need to make adjustments to get there, to get to that level of comfort. Does it make sense? And I'm really focusing on, you know, romantic relationships because in other types of relationships, it can be a little awkward depending on the type of connection you had to the people. But um, when there's desire, it's different because, like, when you're looking at my body, depending on the type of relationship we had, I may feel like, hey, I don't believe you're looking at my body the way I want to be. I want it to be admired or I want it to be desired. I don't think it's the same approach, right? And we could get into sexuality, and maybe we'll keep that for another episode because yeah, that actually that's really interesting. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably talk about that later. So I want to know about you. Is that something you've experienced on whichever end of the relationship as a trans person or as a cis person who has been in a relationship with a trans person while they transition, um, or before and after the transition? I'd like to know. I'd like to know your experience. So email me, message me. You can leave me. You can leave a voice message on Spotify, or you can email at contact@ftnpod.com. You can also follow any of the links in the comment, not the comment, in the description, and get to me there. Also, I keep saying, hey, do not message me with the, hey, how you doing? You beautiful, and all that stuff. Um, I mean, I can take a compliment. Compliments are really nice. But I'm not interested in the pervy stuff. But you know what? Because remember I said that my birthday is next week, and like y'all being weird out there. You know what? If you want to talk to me about, hey, you're beautiful, you deserve the best. Do you want a sugar daddy or sugar mama or whatever? Because yeah, I've had both. Um, Instead of saying all that stuff, why don't you bless my Cash App? Why don't you bless my PayPal? Why don't you bless my Patreon? Like, you can absolutely do these things because you're so serious about, you know, being a provider, right? Provide me with some shit. Provide me. Oh wait, let me take my soft voice. Provide me, daddy, with some stuff. Go to the link. That's not my soft voice, but anyway, um, go to the link right in the description and find my registry. I have a few things there. Some of the stuff is like $20. It's really not much, but some of the stuff is also $200. Like a beautiful, beautiful cape made of cashmere. Mm-mm-mm. And a beautiful Michael Kors bag that's like a little under $200. Um, and it's not like, I mean, anyway, it's just my wish list. It's made of spiritual things. It's made of books. It's made of, some sports things. Um, yeah, and also a shield for this mic because my head is in a box right now. And I need to yeah, upgrade. So yeah, well, if you wanna help out, you wanna send a Amazon.com, not .com, but French Amazon, Amazon.fr card to so I can add a little bit and then buy my stuff. We can do that. I'm open. Um, and I'm obviously like talking to the people who are like coming at me weird, but all the other folks really like I appreciate the support as it is. I know I'm not like promoting this podcast really. I'm just talking, and I think that's why I want to leave it right now. Um, yeah, I want to keep this something enjoyable, you know? Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, but help however you can. I'll accept all type of help. Um, um I've learned to accept blessings as they show up. But at the same time, I don't want to like make anyone feel like they have to do anything, because you certainly don't have to, right? I'm really clear about that as well. I also know that things are hard, and that people should not be doing stuff that they can't be doing. I have food in my fridge, right? And I'm not actually begging. If you really like want to do something and you don't have any type of means, like please share, please comment, like do something like that. It really means a lot. Really mean quite a lot. So, I'm gonna end it here. Um, yeah, 41, y'all. Yeah, it's weird, it's weird, it's weird. Let me know about your experience as well. Um, yeah, I want to hear about y'all. I just want to hear. Okay. Um, take care, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye bye.